It's working now.
Yeah, I can see you. You can say hi on the chat. Hi, guys. Welcome on our live stream. We had some technical difficulties. I see that you are there. We will wait a couple of seconds to gather more people, and please write in the chat if you can, if you are here and you hear everything and so on. Okay, then I think we can start this out.
So hello everyone and welcome on our webinar. Tonight's topic is going to be AI as your study buddy, learn smarter, not harder. It's my pleasure to introduce Alec, our speaker for tonight, who's going to walk us through how you can learn how you can make learning more accessible and engaging with AI. So I'm going to pass the mic to Alec and I'm going to let him talk.
Okay, thank you very much. I see on the chat that we are hearing ourselves very well. You send the messages, that is fine. So I will be going through my presentation and I will show you exactly what I've got for you today. So just a second. Yep, I think we are live and we can start the presentation. Thank you, Gabriela, for introducing me. And as Gabriela said, today's presentation will be about enhancing your learning experience with AI, exactly AI as your study buddy, learn smarter, not harder. What I mean by that is I will show you exactly how to utilize the power of ChatGPT mostly to enhance your learning experience for you to learn faster, learn more effectively, and just speed up your knowledge acquisition, as I can say. So who am I exactly? My name is Alexander. I was a tech journalist covering products, AI, and cloud technologies for the last decade. I was traveling through all around the world with the biggest tech companies. I was also having a column in the biggest Polish media technology outlets. And since 2019, I have tried integrating my skills into a modern marketing environment. I'm also a massive fan of artificial intelligence, spending a couple hours, mostly couple, sometimes more a day, just talking with algorithms. And this QR code that you can see here is the QR code where you can find me on LinkedIn. You can scan it by your phone and it will automatically show you my profile. If you will have any questions after this webinar or just wanted to chat about AI or just everything related, please feel free. I will not I will accept your connection request. So without further ado, let's start. And I think it's important to start from the basics. Just why we should care about AI in the education. I think the AI and artificial intelligence in general, I'm not talking only the ChatGPT here, will flip upside down, or at least turn to 180 degrees the methods and methodologies and other things that we use today to learn and how we learn. I think it will take some time to fully integrate AI into the classrooms and into the universities, but I think this wave is coming and nothing will stop it. So AI in education, from my perspective, offers personalized learning experiences by adapting to individual student needs and pace. And I will show you later what exactly I mean by that and how I use it in terms of my learning experience with AI. So this technology facilitates access to a wealth of resources and tools, enhancing both teaching and learning efficiency. I personally use AI every day in terms of learning for mostly the three things. Eli 5 it's the shortcut of explain me like I'm 5. So this is what it means. I sometimes got a lot of complex topics, and I want the AI and algorithms and large language models to explain them to me like I'm a child. It's the greatest way, I think, to learn and to gain new knowledge. Also, for the explanations, when I know something about certain topic, but I want more explanation, and I want to know more about it, and learn it from the different perspectives. So I guess it's also important. And my favorite thing is the homeworks part. I sometimes ask ChatGPT to create some kind of a homeworks to me to gain more knowledge, as I said previously, and to practice a bit with my new knowledge. So I use it every day for these three things mostly, but I think that it can be also suitable for your needs, because it's a really flexible tool that you can use for your personal things that you want to learn, or your personal approach and the pace that you like in terms of the learning. Peter says on the chat, hello, nice to see you. I hope that you will get something out of this webinar. So let's go further with the basics. So exactly what is AI? I prepared here some screens with the most basic informations about artificial intelligence for you who are the beginners, or maybe for advanced users, because I think the things that I'm talking about are sometimes overlooked in terms of the simplicity. We all know the curse of knowledge. When we know a lot about something, it's sometimes good to turn back to the basics. So what exactly is AI? AI at its core is the capability of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. Don't be scared, AI will not take your job, at least for now, because it's not as intelligent as media think. It's just, from my perspective as a person who is sitting right in front of the wave of these changes and right in front of the developing these things, it's just more advanced autocorrect like this one like you have on your smartphone when you are typing, and the keyboard is correcting the misspellings and grammar mistakes that you make. So the key points to remember and understand in terms of AI is the machine learning, natural language processing, and LLMs, large language models. These three all fall under the AI umbrella. These are the technical terms. These are not important in terms of your learning and your experience, because I want to emphasize the practical approach here. So what is the most important part, and I want you to focus on it right now, is these are the prompts. These are the instructions that allow you to communicate with large language models. People sometimes make this mistake, and they feel like they are talking with machine. And yes, we are talking with the machine, but when you change your mindset to talking like with the person who's sitting right next to you, and like with the real person, you can achieve much more in terms of prompting the artificial intelligence. I bet that you all heard of the prompts. I bet some of you created them, some of you experimented with them, with maybe better outputs or weaker outputs, but the prompts are gaining a lot of attention in working with artificial intelligence. And I think the prompts are the absolute must-have in terms of knowledge to communicate with ChatGPT mostly. And I want to ask you, have you ever experimented with your own prompts, or maybe designed some of them? For me, prompts are some kind of a piece of art. They can be beautiful, they can do certain things, they can be complex, they can be simple. Like every prompt is different, like every human on our planet is different. So I guess from my perspective, from my advice, because I'm working with these things daily, you just must use your creativity in terms of creating prompts. I will tell you more about them, and I will show you examples later how you can achieve certain results in terms of learning with utilizing the prompts. So what exactly is ChatGPT for? And I will take a step back a bit into the things that I covered in a couple of minutes previously. So the GPT-4 is a large language model with over 1.7 trillion machine learning parameters. Parameters are what the model uses to generate text and make decisions. The architecture of the GPT-4 is transformer-based. This architecture is known for its ability to handle a wide range of language processing tasks. And as I said previously, the language is the most important thing here. The GPT-4 was trained on a diverse range of internet text from the forums, from Reddit, from Google, from the websites, with how-to guides, from reviews, and so on. Just anything with text was related to training. So the topics that it can cover are diverse and really complex. So it should be noted that GPT-4 doesn't know specifics about which documents were in the training set. It recognizes only the patterns, the text, and the things that this model learned along the way. So how to use exactly GPT-4 for learning? I was thinking a lot about what to exactly put here on this slide, because I think that the possibilities are almost limitless. But for me, from my experience, the most important ones are the customized learning assistants. ChatGPT can provide tailored explanations, help with homework, and offer practice quizzes, enhancing understanding of complex topics. Also, it can be your interactive tutor. It can act as an on-demand tutor, engaging in interactive dialogues to clarify concepts and provide step-by-step guidance on various subjects. And this is important with gaining new knowledge. And the most important part also, and the most favorite one from me, is the content creation. GPT-4 can help you with generating educational content, such as writing prompts, lesson summaries, and even creating simple educational games or quizzes. I'm also creating my own homeworks, as I said, and lesson summaries is the fantastic way also to maybe transform your notes from some lecture or from some conference to more structured text for you to be easier to understand. So maybe do you have some ideas on how to use ChatGPT for learning as for now? I think the ideas that I mentioned can be useful, but I think that everyone is different, and you can maybe learn something more and maybe have a different approach to try utilize AI in terms of learning something new. So we can go even further, as and I can show you that I created here on the right this graphic. This is Leonardo da Vinci, which is painted by DALL-E. This is the model behind ChatGPT-4 that creates graphics based on text prompts. So basically, you are communicating with DALL-E by text. I just put it here, the generate for me an image of Leonardo da Vinci. Just as you say, it's not maybe comparable to real Leonardo da Vinci, but I think the result is very nice. So in terms of learning with ChatGPT and with prompts, ChatGPT can simulate historical figures or characters for interactive learning. You can do it also by prompts, but just asking ChatGPT to act like someone. He or she, I don't know if the artificial intelligence have a gender, to be honest, but it can act like a teacher. It can act like Elon Musk. It can act like Tom Hardy. It can like Ryan Gosling or something if you want to, and it will emulate the certain style of the person that you choose directly from your prompts. So for me, the biggest benefit of emulating certain styles is your potential ability to adopt the persona of historical figure and enable yourself engaging in simulated interviews or discussions, deepening their understanding of history and literature in an engaging and immersive way. This is not only limited to history and literature. It can be also related to science, to engineering, to biotechnology, to medicine, to law. Just choose one domain, and ChatGPT has a very, very broad database that it can rely on and provide you answers and provide you some interactive elements for you to feel like you are talking with a real representation, or maybe I can say real copy of a person that you want to emulate. Also, you can use other tools, not only the ChatGPT for stimulating your learning process and enhancing your learning process. My two favorite ones that I use daily almost, or at least 2 or 3 times a week, is the Character AI. It's a platform where people create some kind of various characters, and you can have a conversation with them. There are the characters from the movies, from the cartoons. There are fictional characters that do something. From my perspective, it's a really fantastic way to test how the model responds in terms of its knowledge and in terms of programming that someone does before in creating some kind of this character. Scholar AI, it's a plugin for ChatGPT-4 that will help you extract knowledge from papers, mostly scientific papers. So if you are a student or if you are a technical person and you have access to some papers and research abstracts and so on, you can use this plugin Scholar AI to help you extract the most important information without reading the whole paper, because as we know, these papers are extremely long. Sometimes they have even 50 plus 60 plus pages. So it's really good to have a tool that will help you interact with those documents in various ways. And if you have a child and you want to make the learning process from school more interactive, I really recommend you this tool Character AI to test out, because it's fantastic. It takes off a lot of mental things from you to creatively create new stories for bedtime and so on. You can just use predefined characters to move along with your child and have a new experience by yourself, but just by testing it out. Kasia Volkovich said on chat that this is super interesting and very helpful. Thank you very much, Kasia. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to share, or if you don't understand something, just I will take a pause and answer your question. Ask for everything. There are no stupid questions. I know that it can be a lot of knowledge sometimes, especially for beginners, and I want to clarify everything as much as possible. So in conclusion, the amount of tools based on AI, based on ChatGPT mostly, are enormous in the web. I chose these two ones because I use them daily. I tested them almost in and out, and I think that these are the best for these two purposes, for talking with characters and for summarizing papers and working with scientific papers, especially from the materials from your university. So this is the most important slide, I think, from this presentation, and I want you to focus a bit on it, because I think it's the most important one. I want you to experiment by your own, and you may ask me, Alexander, why? I think I'm doing workshops for various people and for various companies of effective AI, using AI in an effective way. And sometimes, or even more often, the biggest problem is that the people do not experiment. They want to have a solution that will do a thing from A to B without stop. They are not even trying to build upon that and maybe break some things down and maybe test something. And with artificial intelligence, the biggest point that can take you to the sky in terms of creating something that will have value for you and that you will appreciate, or your colleagues will appreciate, or your child will appreciate, is to experiment. It's just to experiment. It's just to learn how to work with these things, how to prompt it, how to write prompts, how the model give you responses, how to ask proper questions, how to ask for feedback, and so on. and I want to really emphasize this approach. Just don't be scared of experimenting. Don't be scared, even if the answer will be far enough from what you expected. Don't be afraid to experiment and release your creativity as much as possible. I know that we all all of you have creativity to do it, and there are various creativities and various approaches, and don't be afraid to test them, because the results really might surprise you. So, as I asked on the previous slide, you may now wonder why. And I want to put a big note on these two approaches, and I think they are universal while working with artificial intelligence. Like sometimes, maybe not sometimes, on the internet you have a lot of solutions. I like to call them one size fits all. These are the templates. These are the previously pre-built tools and things that require not much work from you and not much of creative work for you. And this approach has a lot of downsides. I mentioned a couple of them here. For me, this is the biggest downside is the lack of customization. Like someone created a solution for his purposes and for his or her desired output, and maybe it will not work for you as for him or her. Maybe not. It will often produce generic outputs. Generic outputs are the answers from ChatGPT and from artificial intelligence that are just generic, just don't give you anything besides the plain text, and like I like to call it blah blah blah, just like talking without any sense. The other one is the risk of misunderstanding. Sometimes, as I said with the previous points, with the first point, sometimes someone created something for himself or herself, and you maybe not understand how it works from the fundamentals, and how exactly this prompt work, how exactly what exactly is been doing in the background, and what output it gives. So for me, it's the down point. And the last one, which for me is the most important one out of these four, it limits your learning. It limits your learning, because the more you experiment and the more creativity you put in your prompts in ChatGPT, the more you learn along the way, and the more you understand how these models work. So to go quickly through your own approach, this is just basically the answer, but on the positive side for the one size fits all. Your prompts and your approach can be highly customizable. Like, for example, let's say that you have a classroom with 3 or 4 kids, and you want to create some kind of special homework for them and repeat this process to save some time. So you can do that, because you will have a customization option, and you will customize your prompts and your interactions with ChatGPT to get the output that you want. It can be task specific. For example, you as a student can relate to any task that you are given in your lectures or in your studies, or where you're writing some kind of a paper, and so on. It will enhance your learning, which is the answer to the limits of your learning, of course. And you will have the full ownership and full control of the projects and prompts that you are using in ChatGPT. So you can take a screenshot of this slide that I'm showing right now. I think it will be helpful, and I will, of course, the list of the questions for the beginning and for the start is really long, so you can just experiment with them like with everything. So maybe you are now, when I'm talking, like thinking about where to start. What should I go? What exactly should I do to start learning with ChatGPT and with AI? So I think like taking the first step is to ask yourself these questions, like, what is my goal in learning? For example, for me, it's I want to learn more about certain domain of machine learning, okay? Because I want to know more about it, and I want to have some complex terms provided to me in a simplified way, because I'm not very much of a technical person. I'm not a mathematician. and so on. I'm not a programmer also, I'm just an enthusiast. So I want to learn more about it. What I want to learn. Okay, I showed you what I want to learn. I want to learn machine learning. You can use it by yourself to tell you, I want to learn more about biophysics. I want to learn more about my certain domain that I'm studying. I want to learn more about the certain part of the history or certain part of the life, certain part of our evolution, certain things about the universe, about the space, about the rocket science, and so on. It's not a rocket science, but you can learn about the rocket science. How fast can I do it? This is also the overlooked point sometimes, because each of you have different pace in terms of learning. So some people get the things done faster. Sometimes some people learn more slowly, and it's absolutely fine. You can also achieve your own pace with interactions in ChatGPT. You just must reflect on yourself and ask yourself, like, how fast can I do it? What is my desired process? When I think about this question, what is my desired process? And I'm thinking about like creating some kind of a simple strategy for me. Like on Monday, I will learn about this topic. On Friday, I will take a break and maybe do some small homework, which will help me do some more practical things. And maybe during the weekend, I will create some kind of a summary of a paper using this plugin Scholar AI to help me learn more about certain domain. Is it safe in terms of personal data? I want to emphasize this approach that you are not sharing with ChatGPT a lot of personal data and a lot of sensitive data, because you don't know who is standing behind there. Okay, the OpenAI is developing ChatGPT, but you don't know where this data goes and how it will be used. Of course, we have the GDPR in Europe, so it should protect us, but I want you to remember about it. Okay, so now let's get our hands-on into working with ChatGPT. I want you to open the interface of your browser in your ChatGPT just to test it out, or you can make a screenshot and do it later after this webinar. So as an example for this event, I created a basic prompt that will show you how ChatGPT can simplify complex things yet providing you additional information. These are absolutely the basics, but I will show you what's the point of it. The point of this prompt is that ChatGPT should explain to you the arguments about this certain topic. This placeholder that you can see here, you can put there your topic of interest. Let's say artificial intelligence. In my perspective, explain artificial intelligence like I'm 5 and give me 2 arguments about it, one supporting and one opposing. As you can see from construction of this prompt, I want ChatGPT to do some things, and these things are written in this prompt in concise yet straightforward language. So explain, this is the first. Like I'm 5, this is 2, so ChatGPT will know to explain it to you in the simple language without jargon and without any technical and super complex things. Give me 2 arguments. This is the another command, 2 arguments about it, one supporting and one opposing. So these are the 2 ones also, one supporting and one opposing. So for example, explain artificial intelligence like I'm 5 and give me 2 arguments about it, one supporting its use and one against it. And you can test it out to see how this, what output you will achieve by using this prompt. As I mentioned before, you must use plain and straightforward language when creating your prompts and asking ChatGPT questions, because as you can see, there are some instructions here to AI to do its work. Another slide, another important slide. I know there are a lot of important slides during this webinar. Always aim for specificity and details. It's good to ask GPT follow-up questions. It's bad that most of the people limit themselves only for one straight answer and one straight question. What I mean here is that when I see people prompting ChatGPT and asking AI to do some certain things, they write like, explain me the superconductors. And this is the end of the conversation. You know, you can achieve a lot more when you focus on asking right questions, or maybe just doing a conversation with the algorithms like with normal human. Instead of typing there, explain me superconductors, you can type explain me superconductors like I'm 5 and I want to understand all of the domains and key facts. And ChatGPT will provide you the explanation, the key facts, the key details. And then if you will see the output with these details, you can ask along about each of these points. Like if it will provide you the answer about the superconductors with, okay, this is the processor, memory, and so on. So you can ask them, okay, so tell me more about this memory, how it exactly works in terms of superconductors. And you can do it since you will hit the cap on GPT-4 or even in GPT 3.5 in the free versions. It's like the possibilities are limitless. I want you to understand, and I want you to remember that asking questions is not a bad thing, and having a conversation with ChatGPT is absolutely not a bad thing. The faster you understand the mechanisms, the quicker you will learn how to learn and how to interact with ChatGPT. And I have some points here about understanding, speed, versatility, parameters, navigation, potential, action, and implementation. This is important. If you will take some tests, use your creativity, and experiment with ChatGPT, you will quickly understand the mechanisms laying behind it, and you will work faster. So, as a teacher in this webinar, I prepared a small homework for you that you can do. Also, you can do a screenshot of this one, and or maybe you can open ChatGPT right now and do a homework. But the whole idea standing behind this homework is to show you how the two responses related to the same topic can differ when you ask ChatGPT in a different way. So the first question is, how can I improve my learning with AI tools? This is the basic question, you know, like it can give you answer, can give you broad answer, but it will be generic as hell, as I can say. But if you were add more details to the prompt, for example, how can I enhance my learning process using AI tools like ChatGPT specifically for mastering complex topics in technology and marketing while also managing my time efficiently? As you can see, because I discussed it a couple of minutes ago, there are a lot more details here and a lot more things for AI to know and to mention and to do for you. So not exactly enhance your learning process, but with AI tools, you mentioned ChatGPT, which is the mention correlated to the AI tool, specifically for mastering complex topics. So the AI will know that you want to master complex topics related to technology and marketing. This is obvious, while also managing my time efficiently. So the latest command in this prompt here will guide ChatGPT to provide you this output and the information that you will get for you as quickly as possible and with the tips on how to manage your time efficiently. And I want to try this simply by copying this or just writing this to see how did the two responses differ in terms of the output. You will immediately, and I promise you, you will immediately notice the better output and the better results. More tailored to you and more tailored to topic that you've chosen. So now let's talk limitations and fails in terms of learning. The limitations is the limited knowledge base. ChatGPT has now the knowledge base updated till the April of 2023. So everything that happened next past April 2023 will be not included. So it's worth mentioning and it's worth remembering. It has built-in biases, cultural biases sometimes, and race biases. It's obvious because ChatGPT was trained on a lot of data, so it will have biases always because no data is clean, and we all as humans produce various types of information in the internet related to our culture, our ethnicity, and so on. The limitations is a lack of practical skill and training. The fails are a misinterpretation of questions. It can sometimes misinterpret your questions and give you wrong answers, so you must correct it. And I stumble upon this limitation and fail almost daily when I have some time to change. Sometimes must change the question that I asked for AI to understand it better. It can have outdated information. This is exactly what I said in terms of limited knowledge base. You will also have you can create in your mind some kind of over-reliance on AI answers and take them as for granted. They are not always the perfect ones, and there are some fails there and maybe some misinformation. So I advise you to check them twice at least to be sure that they are specific and good. In terms of safety, we have privacy concerns, dependence on technology, and misuse of information. For me, from these three ones, the most important one for you to focus is the dependence on technology, because we are getting lazy when we are dependent on technology, and we are getting lazy also creatively when the algorithms are doing the work just for us, and we can be lazy. I want also to emphasize that some companies already have particular policies regarding interaction with ChatGPT, but I said it previously that better is not to share the company-specific information. So now, the best part for the end, my ace in the pack, how I use ChatGPT for learning. To enhance my understanding of complex topics mostly, as I mentioned before, I engage with ChatGPT for that. And here is a breakdown of my method. I ask ChatGPT always to explain intricate concepts in simple terms. For example, I might ask, what are neural networks in AI, and follow up based on the explanation given. Before delving into the dense research paper or a technical document, this is related also to this Scholar AI, I request a summary from ChatGPT. I also learn for teaching. I instruct ChatGPT to act as a student while I explain the topic and then have it ask me questions. This not only solidifies my knowledge, but also highlights areas I need to study further. And what you can see on the left is one of my prompts that I use for learning. It has 12 guidelines that I created, and a role and a task. So I will break it down as simple and as fast as possible. So what I do exactly here is I put up a role for ChatGPT to emulate certain role as a lifelong learner and enthusiast in your subject of interest. You can put in this placeholder the desired output. The options are exactly strictly suited for you. I will probably choose space or astronomy or AI. Task is to use ChatGPT to assist in understanding complex topics. Your subject of interest, and it's the same. And as you can see, there are some guidelines here like key elements, avoid, format, length limitation, review process, plagiarism check, and so on. So what these guidelines do is they give the direct answers for ChatGPT to take on the task step by step, to break down complex topics into fundamental concepts, to pose questions that encourage, provide detailed explanations and examples, to use simple language for clarity and ease of understanding, also to maintaining a tone that is curious and inquisitive to promote an engaging learning experience. Not as SEO, I don't see any things in SEO related. To set the context of your current understanding so that ChatGPT can build upon it. You can also modify it for your needs, and to ensure that the explanations are clear, and check for understanding before moving on to new topics. If you will write to me on the on LinkedIn, I will show you my QR code on the end of this presentation. I can send you these prompts for free. It's not a problem. Okay. The second one, how I use ChatGPT for homework. So ChatGPT has become an indispensable tool in my workflow for crafting homework assignments. And here is how I integrate it into the process. So mostly it's about generating ideas. I ask ChatGPT for creative prompts related to specific learning objectives. I use ChatGPT to help outline the structure of homework, ensuring a clear and logical progression of questions. And I like to create some examples and maybe real life simple analogies for ChatGPT to maybe enhance my learning process. So as you can see, this prompt is a bit bigger, and it serves me as another purpose to interact with AI. The user input is the best and the most important part here, because you must describe here the learning objectives and any specific requirements for the homework. So let's say that I want to learn about machine learning and about vector databases or something like that, and create for me a homework that will check my knowledge in this domain. So as you can see, there is 12 points also here as before, with curriculum alignment, questions variety, mixed of questions like multiple choice, short answer, essays, instructional clarity, craft clear, concise instructions to guide students through the homework tasks, to academic integrity, cultural sensitivity, time management, and maybe some assessment criteria if you are a teacher, to clearly define how the homework will be assessed, including any rubrics or grading scales. It can be also applied, it can be deleted, just suited for you and for your desired output. Difficulty level is also a nice one, because you can adjust the difficulty to suit the intended student level from the beginner to the advanced one. And the best part is that if you know the fundamentals and you are curious enough, you don't need to have the huge library of prompts. You just suit them for your current needs, work together with ChatGPT, and iterate freely. What you can see on the left is the base prompt for AI as your study buddy webinar. I must admit that I used this prompt to create this homework that you've seen before with different answers that I showed. I showed it here. This was the small homework for you. I used ChatGPT to generate some ideas for me in terms of this homework. So to generate diverse homework assignments, each time we could have variations on the theme, such as you can change here the context, you can change the question, you can add some constraints. This is a very, very, very basic one. And it's reliable. It produces various outputs in the same time. So you can use these variations to generate different homework for each session, ensuring the content remains fresh and relevant to the student needs. So the most important part is to just change the context, because context is king in terms of working with AI, and that's it. It will generate you some new things. So I think that's about it. And if you are ready for more, this is the place where you can ask some questions. I see that you are still there on the live chat. So the floor is yours, and you can ask me about everything, and I will move to the next slide in a minute. So if there are no questions, as I can see, maybe we have some delay, but if it will not, I will move to another slide. We prepared also the invitation for you and the discount for you. You can check completely for free the intro to the Beetroot Academy tech course. You will find it here by scanning this QR code. And if you you will get an email where you can get 15% discount for one payment, 10% discount for monthly payment for our courses with dedicated AI module, because every one of our courses have the AI module included with the tools and with explanations to enhance your learning process and boost your productivity, and so on. So if you have more questions or need further help, you can always write to me directly on LinkedIn. You will find me also here. Feel free to reach. I'm all yours, and I will be happy to share my knowledge, because nothing gives me more satisfaction rather than sharing my knowledge with you. So I hope that you enjoyed this webinar, and I hope that you get something from it. I will share with you also my presentation with the people who were signed up and registered for this event. So from my side, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions on the chat. So I guess that we can finish it up. and you can go back and just test some things in ChatGPT and learn something new. So, Gabriela, are you there?
Yes. Thank you so much,
Fantastic.
everyone, for attending.
Thank you. See you next time on our next webinars, and you can follow us on LinkedIn at Beetroot Academy, and you can follow this channel also, Beetroot Academy Global. For more things like that, we will be doing some other things related to AI for sure. So thank you very much once again, and have a nice evening, everyone. See you.
Yeah.